one in a house, one sitting in a vehicle. I hope you're not driving, Jeff.
Oh, nope. I'm
Hello.
parked.
Good morning.
We have a quorum. Let's see, who are we missing?
We're only missing Gary Dowden. Yep.
Okay. All right, review the agenda. Everyone seen a copy of that?
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, a motion a second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Minutes of the previous meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes are approved. Citizens' comments. I have nothing, no one in the room, no one on the screen unless somebody wants to be a citizen.
I'll be a citizen.
Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Last meeting I mentioned Fenner Lake. And I'm just curious if anybody took time to drive over and drive past it.
I did not.
No,
Nope.
no, I did not. I know you wanted me to though, Karen, because I'd been by there, earlier in the year or whatever, but I have not been in a while.
I'm over there usually every other week. But I think it's something we put into our future thinking. Talked to some of my family that all lives out there yet, and so we can't even get the kayak in.
Yeah.
That is the only public access to the whole lake.
Yeah. John Bennett, I know it's a town landing, so I've talked to him about the signs before. So John would be the one to talk. Oh, no, he's not with Westfield anymore. I'm
No.
sorry. I used to deal with him on that one. So I don't even know who the town, because it's a town landing. And they would have to be if they need to do, and they also work with Adams County, then whatever town that is. So,
That's Newchester.
yeah, Newchester.
At that point.
So that's a town.
Well,
land.
yeah,
okay.
nothing to do with us. But,
Okay.
so you'd have to talk to the town of Westfield. I don't even know who
Uh,
Lindsay Bowman, or I think she was the chairman, but I don't know what.
Things change out there so
Yeah,
often.
yeah.
if you wanna get on YouTube, you can go to the town of Westfield meeting.
Yeah.
I hear they broadcast them live over there.
I haven't seen that, but
I can ask John on who it happened before on that. I will have a meeting with him tomorrow morning. I can just run it past him. See what the town of Westfield.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I can do that. Anyone
It's,
else?
it's rather sad to see the condition it's in, and considering that's the only public access to the lake. All of the locals have no access to it.
Anyone else got anything on their citizens comment? Monthly reports.
Got a few things to touch on here for you. One is I'd like to see the dam inspection, but there's a dam inspection coming through with, Buffalo Lake Dam here. As you know, we all have the agreement that we handle maintenance. We pretty much do everything but the structural integrity of it. So they're doing an inspection here next week, with dam safety. So they're gonna be looking at safety stuff, but then also the grounds. Around it of what's in our agreement with them and what's not. And they already did kind of a pre-inspection just to see, in other words, so we can all get on the same page. Few things we weren't doing, that we have already fixed or highway's gonna fix for us. Example is along Dredge Bank Road, we are responsible for mowing the back slope of the dam. We haven't been going far enough, so now willows are shooting up. It's right below Alliance Energy's line, so I called Alliant thinking, we'll save a few bucks, we'll get Alliant to cut it. They came out to cut it, great, nope, they're Asplund, their dealer, or their contractor. And the neighbor guy came out saying he's a renter, but it's his property and he's scared Asplund, so they stopped. So they got some of it done, but I met out there with Highway, so Highway's gonna go with their brush cutter and mow it off, and then we'll stay on top of it. I didn't know we were supposed to go quite that far with our maintenance agreement, because as you know, woody vegetation on dams or embankments is a no-no. We're off the embankment, but we're close enough to where they want it cut. So little things like that, a trip hazard over by the lock wall. They're gonna look at stuff like that with us. So as far as I know, nothing bad. But we'll see. I know there's a rotted log or a rotted railing on one of the fishing docks, but Daryl already fixed it. So then on their little pre-inspection they did, they were like, oh, you know, you got little things here and there, and okay, so we fixed them. So I'll let you know how that goes next month though, after the true inspection's done. So, but I know they are more focused on safety and overflow areas and the different things, you know, for the dam to function. So, but I'll keep you posted on that. Speaking of other DNR property, with the CCA grant, the Conservation Aids grant that we did the resolution for last month, our annual grant. We are going to, I just got approval for that. We'll have it next year. We're going to work with the DNR to replace the landing at Lower Locks, the little one in the channel. They're gonna use their contract, their fish and game guys with their equipment. And they're gonna help us with the cost of the panels to put the concrete in, because Daryl and Matt met out there and did some concrete work to it last month to get ready for duck hunters. And the landing's in such poor shape that some of it's already cracked. We put a Band-Aid on it. So that will be done next year. So if you hear any complaints, because we're getting nasty grams in our, how do you charge $5 if there's the landing's falling apart, so.
That's 50/50?
Yes, probably more than 50/50 though, a little less on our end. It's our grant that we get, which is our match. But DNR is gonna also put some money into it, and then all they're soon have to pay a contractor, so. But it needs to be done. And then our landings on all of our properties are in really good shape then after that, so. The big one at Lower Locks is still great, because that was new in 2015, 16, or 17, I'm sorry. But the little one, they never did anything with, and it's old and decrepit, so. So that'll be done next year. And then other stuff going on, Matt and I, and then just Matt have been out with Daryl, starting fall brushing and different things, and there was a windstorm back in August. I think like 7 trees went down by Lower Locks. We can't cut them back far enough. They just keep falling. And we think a dead ash is gonna fall. No, it'll be a live maple. Take the ash out if the wind's gonna blow. But, so we've been doing that, and then we're gearing up for fall brushing with Daryl here. Quite a bit of invasives at Mere with locust, and then, also just other areas to get ahead, so. DNR did try on their inspection. They went down to Lower Locks too, because it's another property, not so much a dam, but just our agreement. And he called me, hey, you guys got to take care of some of these dead trees along Lower Locks Road. You can't have that on our property. And I was like, hey, hold on a second. We own the road going into Lower. DNR doesn't even remember that we figured out we own the road. So he goes, oh, yep, I can't tell you what to do then on those, because we'd have to cut down an additional probably 70, 80 trees, because they're all dead within the corridor, but we just can't afford it or get to it. So, but I liked how DNR tried to tell us to cut those down when they don't have any right to, so. Otherwise, as planned, the docks are coming out here in the next week or two on everywhere, so we're just plugging along for fall, so.
Questions of Pat? All right, Ice Age Trail Lines.
So next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we're actually gonna meet at the property that the Alliance owns northwest of Westfield. Right now, tentatively, I believe we're gonna call it the Carner Meadow. Maybe it'll be the Carner Meadow Preserve. We're planning on working on it Tuesday, Wednesday, and hopefully we'll either finish it up on Wednesday or be really close. They would really like, right now in the month of October, they do a Mammoth Hike Challenge, because that's the anniversary of the Ice Age Trail. Anyway, they would really like to have that segment open so that people can use it for their Mammoth hike. So other than that, we're still working with Pine Lake. I don't have any confirmation as far as when that trail will be opened up, but anyway, this Carner Meadow should be open yet, hopefully by next week. Does anybody have any questions or comments, or?
Just one comment, Jeff. Thanks for all your work.
It's stuff I love to do, so it's easy. It's not work. But thank you.
All right, thanks,
you.
Joe.
Yeah, and I think the people around Montello are starting to see some of the benefit, of the trail in Montello. It just brings a lot of, other people into the county that normally probably wouldn't be here. But anyway, Thank you, guys.
Following the Alliance on Facebook and different things. It's amazing how just general strangers put on there. Trying out the Montello segment today, one we haven't done yet or whatever, and there's a lot of people. So again, you can't put a price tag to it, but they're stopping at the gas station or the restaurant or wherever and spending some money. So it's all about.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, it all helps.
thanks, Joe.
I need to back up, Mr.
Yep.
Chairman.
Okay, go ahead. What'd you forget?
Under monthly reports, so I did in red, but I have one in black here. I forgot, and this is an important one. Getting back to Mere property and the restoration in progress, not in progress, but on the back 40 from the illegal cutting that took place, we got our settled in the end for the $5,000. I met out there with Ice Age Trail Alliance biologist, Steve. He's kind of my go-to on everything we do out there now on invasives and different things, and we walked it. And we got some good news. We are going to look at kind of continuing on with the Oak Savannah restoration there, kind of veer away from planting the trees back. And the good news is they've got at least $4,000 to $5,000 additional money to put towards it, plus man hours too. So, because already the locust and Japanese barberry, two really bad invasives, since it's gotten opened up, are starting to take over essentially, to a point where we probably can't handle getting rid of some of them. He's gonna have to pay a contractor to come out and do some spraying for us. So, but also we've already started kind of transplanting some seed from our portion of Good Prairie where we burned back to there in areas. So that's kind of a good thing, I guess. We're gonna take our money and stretch it a little further and go for the restoration. But we've got to get on it because the invasives are it's amazing once the sun comes in and they start growing. So
Go ahead, Joe.
Just one comment on that. Now that you brought that up, I don't, if none of you have been out to that prairie that Pat is talking about that was burned, it's unbelievable the prairie plants, how they came about this summer. I mean, the lupin was crazy. And now this fall, even the flowers and the grasses and everything, it just made a huge difference.
yep, Steve and I went walking in there, and once you get him going on plants and different things, it's like it was 2 weeks ago and it was like 90 out. And I'm like, we're in big blue stem and cup plant flowers. Literally, if he got turned around, you wouldn't know which way to go because he couldn't see anything. And the stuff we were finding, it's amazing what the burn did. A few things that are bad, they're already setting up on our property with a DNR crew to take sweet clover takes over after especially on the walking path part after a burn. So they're already scheduling that to start eradicating that. And then there's one spot of willow really creeping in from the lake up into the prairie. And the burn set it back a lot. The adults are dead, but all the little shoots, we're going to have Highway here actually the next week or two with their brush cutter when they do the work along the dredge bank. They're going to go out there the same day and mow off. We got to stay ahead of that brush. And then we might even mow that again next year or look at another burn in like 3 years. So, but yeah, it's amazing what happens after a burn. I didn't know that much about it, and to see things respond and the dead, they don't want the willows and stuff creeping in so many areas that where willows are just gone and now the prairie plants are coming back. So fire does a good thing. So sorry about having to back up there, Mr. Chairman.
Not a problem. All right, we're going to the snowmobile trail update.
This is one thing that we needed to talk about today. First off, they had their first meeting last week or 2 weeks ago. I went to it at Bell Acres with the county clubs. All this good stuff. I just every year kindly reminded them of what they need to do on their end, getting their entries in for us to pay them. Pretty simple stuff. They're a pretty good group, so not a big deal. The one question we have, or I talked to Ron about this, is back in 2021 and now in 2025, it was Matt this time, and before it was Justin, our old tech, did GIS work for the snowmobile trails with easements. And we didn't spend all of our grooming money with the club. So we're sitting on actually about $4,000 this past season that didn't get spent. And we can't use that. We can't just take that money from the state. It has to be a major project we did. Just for basic running the snowmobile trail program, we can't just take money out and pay ourselves back. But since Matt did that project, with GIS, we were able to bill them essentially. So we got on top of the money that came back in the reimbursement, the amount of $1,331 was paid to us from the snowmobile, the state grant that we were able to take. We have it now in our coffers. Same thing we did back in 2021 which I conveniently forgot about. Back then it was 1,800 roughly. So I talked to Ron about this, and that's money, it doesn't have to go to the snowmobile trails. It was money they reimbursed Marquette County for. It's in a Fund 11 account sitting there. And I talked to Ron and Stacy about taking that money and putting it onto, we have some ARPA money left for Mir that we're looking at doing, either trying to expand the parking lot one little bit or somewhere along the side. And I thought what a great place to spend that money would be to add, so we got a little seed money already, take this snowmobile money, transfer it, because we don't have anything to spend it on in snowmobile trails, and transfer it to that portion of parks just into our general park upkeep stuff, and we can use the money for that. So with that, Ron, I don't know what we needed from the committee, or we're just telling them, or they need to decide on that, or if that's something you can do, or.
No, I asked but otherwise we can just do it. It's under $5,000.
And it's not free money. We did the work. But it's in the snowmobile account now, but it doesn't have to stay there. It's not like we have to turn around and spend it back on snowmobile stuff. We can do it at our wishes in parks. So I don't know if anybody had any question on that or whatever. I wish we could have a project like that every year, because they're not hitting their grooming limits every year. So we turn money back to the state. The state wants us to spend it, but we don't have enough projects like that for Matt or someone to work on in the county every year to do billable hours is all. So otherwise we could get some cash back every year. So, but it's a little bit of seed money for other stuff. So
Concerns on that, or should we let Pat go wild?
not going wild. I got Ron looking at over me. I'm not going wild. It's just we have to stretch our dollar wisely in parks. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So every have 2,000-3,000 laying around, like I call this, we can take this, the amount is $3,146, add it with some other money that we have and make it go a lot farther than, it's just, that's what we're used to doing with parks, I guess. So.
Unless there's no objection, we'll go ahead and move that. I just wanted in the minutes so the auditors can see the discussion and that we decided to move it.
I can't see anybody that has a problem with it, so we'll agree that we can put it in Fund 11 or whatever you have to do with it.
Keep it with Muir.
Yeah, with Mir, yep. Okay.
Okay. What else you got on that? Yeah,
Nothing on that. Snowmobile trail this week or snow now, so.
all right. 26 budget update.
I put this on there because at the time I mailed this all to you, we didn't have our budget hearing with executive finance. I have nothing to report. We survived unscathed right now for parks, so I just had it in there as, in case something did get cut or whatever, that I would, report to you here, but with that, we can null and void that one.
Okay. John Muir, history update.
Well, the numbers were, down a little bit for a while. Of course, when the weather started changing and the kids all went back to school, but then all of a sudden last week it popped way up again. And, the last Wednesday was the last time I checked it. And for the 30 days before that, there were about 379 views. And then about 400 and some page views, separate page views. So, it's back up and with the nice weather, I think people are coming. It's always on the weekends when it goes up higher.
Daryl's my judge on that too, and that little hot stretch that we had there for 2 weeks, things slowed down a little bit before that, and when it got warm again, he goes by just kind of how bad the bathrooms are at different parks and what they have, so, he said, yeah, things are busy again, so, yeah.
There were a
they
lot
got
of
out and
people
about.
there this last weekend. But the campground's closed now, so most of them, so. Although the Montello walking trail one, that look back one, people are in town anyway, and they're using that a lot. So we did have vandalism on one of the signs, somebody tried to take it on. This one.
Questions for Kathleen? Thanks, Kathleen. August, September monthly expenses. Any questions or concerns with those?
Nope.
Oh, and this has got nothing to do with the vouchers. It just tripped my brain because Daryl's name on there. Is he planning on staying with us or?
Yep.
Or retiring or?
No, he's planning on staying with us.
Okay.
Thank the Lord he is, because we need him.
For what he does, you'd never replace him for what you're paying.
100%. He is an asset of, if I get a call on a weekend even, or a Friday, and I'll call him Friday night, hey, Daryl, you next time out to Lower, I heard an issue, I'll run out there right now, and he goes and takes care of it, so. He's an asset to us for sure.
All right, anything else this committee needs to address that anybody knows of? That's a legal statement, but don't tell my attorney, but otherwise, we will adjourn this meeting and thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Have a good